back, gardening friends. This is Heather's greenhouse. Sadly, my tomatoes are gone. I don't know if you can see right there, but something either last night or early this morning dug them up and ate them. So I am no longer in the tomato challenge because I'm going to have to buy me a tomato start from the garden center. Everything else is looking okay. Now it's just now spring and just now getting past the frost date, so I haven't really put out the vegetable garden yet, but this whole area will be full of things to eat. It's going to have tomatoes, maybe some beans, probably a squash. It's going to have bell peppers, maybe some jalapeno peppers. And then I've got some, so these are pea plants that are not going to last long. I need to put them on that little trellis so they can grow up. But pea plants don't last long here. As soon as it starts getting hot, they are going to wilt and die. I never really get a harvest out of peas. I just honestly snack on them in the garden. But let's see what else we have going. Alright, so here's our asparagus. And that's a purple asparagus. You can see I've already been harvesting some. And same with my asparagus. They never make it to the kitchen. I tend to snack on them when I'm out here in the garden. Let's look up this way. Oh my goodness, can you see how beautiful that is? That is a hot lips salvia. And you can see that's just absolutely gorgeous. That's getting ready to bloom. Look at that. And the dogs are barking, not at me, but because there are people out fishing in the cove. And I'm not gonna put the camera on them out of privacy for them. You can see I do let stuff go to flower. It's great for pollinators, and I'm able to collect my own seed. Y'all, this is so sad. Look at my broccoli. That is the tiny little broccoli head that I grew. But y'all, I'll be honest, these quote-unquote cool season vegetables, they don't really do great in the Midlands of South Carolina where I'm at. They really do turn out to be more pollinator food and seeds for next year for me versus anything I'm going to get a harvest off of and be able to eat it. The garlic and the onion are doing good though. Now that is a wabi-sabi raised bed, and I love that. It's got just craziness going on, but it's beautiful. You've got radish flowers. You've got garlic. There's ornamentals. There's chives. And so let me talk about radish for a little bit. Radish is a hot topic for a lot of gardeners. You know, it's hard to get a good bulb. And I found if you really want a bulb, you probably need to go with a daikon radish, because you can actually get something that if you want to roast it and eat it, you can do that. But y'all, I don't get really good bulbs out of my radish, so I let them go to seed. You can put the flower seeds on salads, and then you have all these little seed pods. And if you've never tried a radish seed pod, it tastes just like a radish. And they're everywhere. Look how prolific this is. I mean, could you imagine throwing those little seed pods in a stir fry? Oh, it's so good. But that's a question of the day. What plant do you have or don't have because you think it's overrated? It can be a vegetable, it could be an ornamental, whatever you want. You know, what do you think is overrated? I'm going to tell you, personally, there's a lot of things that I either don't grow or don't grow well. And so I have to decide, do I just not try or do I try? I don't know. But let me know in the comments below, what are some of the things that you think are just overrated in the garden? Like I said, it can be an ornamental or a vegetable. I'm going to be honest with you. For me, Zone 8, Midlands of South Carolina, it might be tomatoes. I cannot grow a good size slicer tomato consistently. It's just too hot and too humid here. The humidity gets them and kills the plant before I ever get a ripe tomato. I can grow small tomatoes, and I will grow those, and you'll see that later. But yeah, large slicing tomatoes, I can't grow them here. They don't do well. Alright, let's talk about these blueberries real quick. So these blueberries, I did a very hard cutback on them. I did what you call a rejuvenation prune. The reason why I did that is because they were not productive. And I was like, you know what? I want to do a rejuvenation prune, give them one season to not fruit at all, just focus on root production. Because I know sacrificing one season of berries is going to give me more berries going forward. So that's what I did here with these blueberries. Look at that euphorbia. That is absolutely beautiful. And that might be on somebody's list, because euphorbia, very easy to grow. I think they're absolutely gorgeous. But if you cut them, there is a white milky sap that is an irritant to your skin. And some people are very sensitive to it and have to wear gloves at all times when they're out here working around them. Thankfully, I'm not that sensitive to it, so I don't even have to wear gloves. But of course, I'm not coming out here and cutting them and messing with them too much. I pretty much just let them go. Then we've got some beautiful little orange flowers there. I don't remember what that is. But I think it's just dainty and just beautiful. Alright, what else do we have? Oh, that's right, the snapdragons are blooming. Now, snapdragons do exceptionally well for me. I don't know if you can see that one that's real tall right now. That's a good 3.5 foot. And that's not including the height of the raised bed. These all came from one snapdragon that I had rooted. So I had a snapdragon over here, and you can see this is the original snapdragon that I grew it from seed originally. And look how big this bush is. It started from one seed. But I had one of the stalks, excuse me, I had one of the stalks fall off. I rooted it and stuck it in over there. And now I have a second bush of snapdragons. And I love snapdragons out in the garden. They're absolutely beautiful. I love to take them and cut them and put them in arrangements. But here's my favorite thing. Tell me if you do this. So you go to a flower, and you go, roar, roar, roar. I don't know. The kids used to love it. They'll probably think I'm stupid at this point, but that's okay. Not everything is blooming yet, but the bulbs, the spring flowering bulbs are. And I think having some early flowering items in the garden is important because it helps out the pollinators. You know, the pollinators wake up, they're hungry, and it's nice to have some nectar available. Look at this tulip that I showed you in the spring tour. And here's another one getting ready to bloom. Now, tulips will not live in this zone, in this area. You'll get one flower, and then honestly, they never recuperate and never come back and never flower for you again. If they do come back, they're just going to be a couple little leaves, and that's it. So I don't knowledgeably buy tulips because of that. I mean, don't get me wrong, I have a lot of annuals that I enjoy, but I try to have mainly perennials in the garden. Isn't this anemone pretty? And yes, I know it's at the end of its life, but I still think it's pretty. And then these tulips are toward the end, but I think they're pretty too. And I somehow ended up with 4 of those in this bed. Alright, then we've got the hanging flowers. Again, the geranium right here my husband bought me. So it was filled out and full. This was a hanging pot that I had that I just put snapdragons that I had rooted. And you can see it's actually going to flower. So I'm excited about that. And my cilantro. I need to get out here and harvest it. Honestly though, it's another thing I like to let go to flower. I mean, look at the flowers, they're very pretty. Cilantro does not, well, I mean, it grows fine. You can see it grew there, but it bolts quickly in this area. So, I don't know, is cilantro on your list of overrated plants? I know what my husband said immediately without hesitation. When I asked him what he felt was in the garden that was an overrated plant, he immediately said the rose. So I don't know if you can see that pink rose flower up there. So this rose bush is absolutely full of buds. It's going to be absolutely gorgeous here in the next week. And this one I love because it is a thornless variety. So let me show you, there are no thorns. Now that's not to say all my roses are thornless, because let me tell you, that rose over there on the fence, that rambler has some thorns that will absolutely destroy your day. You know, I kind of have a policy in my garden that if I start bleeding, I go inside. So when I'm messing with this rose bush, sometimes I start bleeding and I just go inside. But look at these. Those are some wicked, wicked thorns. And this one blooms a very pretty pale pink, and it smells divine. You know what? I'm seeing a couple of buds, but it's not full of buds. Interesting. Alright, well that's enough for now. Please let me know below in the comments, what plant do you think is overrated? Ornamental or vegetable? I just want to know your opinion. And you know why? Why do you think it's overrated? Maybe you're like me and you have things that just do not like to grow in your zone. Okay, until next time. Sorry about the background noise with the boats. Until next time, happy gardening.